Hello friends, it's Emmy B. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing on this lovely day? It's been a lovely day for me and I hope it's been a lovely day for you. Today's video is going to be a little tutorial if you will, on this look that I'm wearing right here. A really nice, bright, springy look. We're heading into spring. I don't know if we've already gotten like the first day of spring or not, if that's already passed. Not 100%, I think it has. I think it was in March. It's now April, but I don't know anything. This is just like a really easy, fun, bright look, bright eye, bright lip. We're just embracing the colors of spring. And so if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, let me know what you think of this video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and just keep watching to see how this look turns out. Okay friends, so let's go ahead and get started with our springtime tutorial. So first, I'm just going to prep the skin with the NYX Bear With Me. It's the Prime Set Refresh Multitasking Spray. Looks like this. I absolutely love this stuff. I love to spray it on before I put on makeup. It's just like, sorry. It's just like a really nice, super fine mist that I think works really well for really any makeup, but it is just kind of like something that you can put on so that you don't have a super heavy like base underneath what we're about to put on. So for the foundation, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. It says it's a tinted skin veil. It's sheer to medium coverage. I have the shade Fair. It looks like this. This is, I think it's still fairly new, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it on a brush because it is like the medium coverage. And so using a brush over a beauty blender is really going to give you the most amount of coverage, but I don't want something that is super, super cakey and full coverage because this is a springtime look. And I feel like in springtime, most people go for something a little bit more dewy. I feel like people use a lot of creams in spring and summer. So I'm just going to finish putting this on all over the face. And then for concealer, I'm going to be going in again. This is Wet n Wild. It is the Photo Focus concealer. I have the shade Light Ivory. It looks like this. This is my absolute favorite concealer, probably of all time, honestly. It is just, it's such a nice concealer. It's not too heavy. It's not too cakey. It really doesn't crease on me. I don't notice a ton of creasing. This is like a brand new bottle, so I'm kind of having to dip in a couple of times to really get the product on my brush, but it's not usually like that. But I'm just going to put this all around the face and sort of in the middle of the face just to brighten up those areas, because definitely for springtime and summertime, I feel like it's all about having really nice, bright looking makeup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in this time with my beauty blender, or makeup sponge. This isn't technically a beauty blender, and just start blending this. The reason I put like a concealer down here on my jaw is because I don't have a very pronounced jaw, and so I do add some like contouring to make like this part more defined, but I like to add a little bit of highlight right here to almost make my face more square. All right, now that we've got the concealer all blended out, everything looks nice, pretty. We're looking a little glowy so far. And so next I'm gonna go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with blush. I'm gonna use a cream blush, and I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Cheek Heat Sheer Gel Cream Blush. This is the shade 15 Nude Burn. I probably would like to go in with something a little bit lighter than this shade, just because I feel like for like summer and spring is really the time to put on those like super pretty bright colors. But I really want to use a gel, like a cream blush for this look. So I've just put some on the back of my hand, and I'm picking it up with this Wet n Wild brush, and I'm just going to... Excuse you, do you have something to say? Okay, anyway, just going to dab this on my cheeks. So now that we have the blush on, we're still looking nice and dewy and glowy. And I'm about to do something that might make a lot of people upset, but I'm going to set my face. The reason why I set my face, even though we are like going for a really nice, glowy, springtime sort of look, I just personally prefer to have my makeup set. I don't like the feeling of having tacky makeup, and I feel like with like certain products, you can still achieve like a really nice glowy look without having a bunch of sticky product on your face. So for me, it's really just personal preference, but I'm gonna go in with a really like easy, simple powder that's not super heavy. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent. It just says translucent. It doesn't even say if it's like a powder. I mean, obviously it's a powder, but loose setting powder. There you go. I just put some in the cap, put it on my brush, and then I tap it onto my face. Yeah, this is mostly just to get a lot of the stickiness off of my face, and that's really it. So I go in with the slightest bit of powder. All right, so now that I'm all set and I'm no longer sticky, I'm still like a little bit glowy, but not as much, but that's okay, we'll fix that. Okay, and then next, I think the other big thing when like for spring and summertime is bronzing. I think bronzing is like the #1 thing that everyone loves to do in spring and summer, try to make yourself look nice and tan. And so I'm gonna go in with, this is the Park Ave Princess. It says it's a contour palette, but it is this shade right here. It's just, I believe this is just the original Park Avenue Princess like color from Tarte. I don't usually use stuff on my channel that's not drugstore because I can't afford to buy stuff from Sephora or like the expensive side of Ulta, but this is actually, I've had this palette for a really long time. This is one of the last Christmas presents I ever got from my grandma before she passed away, so it's something that I will literally never get rid of. Yeah, I figured I would showcase it on my channel today. But I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of bronze up the face. I don't wear a ton of bronzer. I'm trying to get better at wearing more bronzer, but I definitely am never someone who's gonna go like super crazy overboard with bronzer, but we're just gonna put it on like any other beauty guru would and kind of see how it looks. All right, so I am now all bronzed up, and now to add some nice glow to my face, this wasn't my intention, but this has sort of turned into a little bit of like a Wet n Wild like video. I don't think anything else that I'm using is Wet n Wild, but this is. So this is the Mega Glow highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow. It looks like this. It has a really nice pinky reflect to it, which at first I didn't like when the very first time I used this, but I actually think that for spring and summer, it just adds a really pretty, like, youthful sort of fun glow. And like, it's pink, but it's not like pink. It's not like that, what is it? The Regina George highlighter by Jeffree Star. That's like basically a blush with shimmer in it. It's not like that, but it does have a nice pink reflect to it. But I think that it's just a nice, fun, like summery, springy highlight that makes your cheeks look wet, honestly. And it's always good to glow a little extra. I don't normally highlight the tops of my eyebrows, but I'm going to today, just a tad. But this highlighter is just so pretty. Okay, so that's it for the face. The face is pretty easy, very simple. Like, you don't want to go overboard. You don't want to look cakey. You don't, because it's hot in spring and summer. And so you just want to do something nice and simple and glowy and bronzy, and you just want to look like healthy and radiant. And I feel like that's what this accomplishes. So now we can move on to eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up the eyes. I am back. My eyebrows are done. Please ignore them. They could not be two different shapes if they tried harder. They're horrendous. My cat is now with me on my lap and walking all over the bed. Oh my gosh, she has to go lay in the freaking plastic bag. My cat is obsessed with plastic bags. I don't know what her deal is. So, if you hear her wrestling around with this freaking plastic bag, I'm so sorry. But anyway, springtime eyes are my favorite, and I'm super excited to do a more springy look today because they're just so fun, and I feel like springtime eyes, you can really just get away with putting one color all over the lid. And really, is that necessary? And just like putting one look all over the lid, or just putting a shimmer all over the lid, putting on some mascara, and heading out the door. And so when I was thinking of a springtime palette, the first palette that came to mind was the Sailor Moon Color Pop palette. I just got this recently. This is my first time using it. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. And I just feel like this is such a perfect springtime palette. You've got this nice pop of yellow. You've got some light neutrals up here. You've got some fun springy colors right there. And then you've also got some really nice shimmers that you can, like I said, just throw on the lid and go. And so this is the palette that we're going to be using today. I'm going to be doing sort of like I'm going to be using this yellow color. I do feel like yellow is pretty standard when it comes to spring colors, but with the lip that I want to do, I don't think that these colors will go. So that's why I'm doing the yellow. But I went ahead and dipped into this color right here, which is called Twilight Flash. And I'm just going to really easily buff that in the crease. This Twilight Flash shade has such a nice, like, peachy, creamy undertone to it. It almost, like an orange dreamsicle. I feel like this is like a a peach dreamsicle. Like that's what it reminds me of. It's like this really nice like creamy peach color. So now that that's all buffed into the lid, I'm going to take the yellow shade, which is this named Justice, and I'm going to pack that all over the lid and then run it up a little bit into the crease into the Twilight Flash shade. That's packed on nice and bright onto the lid, I'm just going to go ahead and this is a dual-sided brush. It's honestly one of my favorite brushes. Real quick side note, it's like a Bare Minerals brush. It says it's the quick color and crease brush. I usually am not a huge fan of like dual-ended brushes, but this one, fantastic. Anyway, so then I packed it on with this side, got it nice and bright, and now I'm just gonna go in with the blender side and with no additional product, just start blending this out. I did end up taking a little bit of that Justice color on my blending brush and just blending it out a little bit more, just because it wasn't pulling into the crease as much as I wanted it to, and I really wanted that yellow in there, so went ahead and did that. I really, really love this yellow color. It is just so stunning. It's like the perfect springtime yellow because it's like a true like canary yellow. It's not like a mustard yellow. It doesn't have any brown in it or anything. It's just like the perfect canary, like primary yellow. So I'm just taking this brush and adding a little bit extra to the lid just to make sure that the color is as bright as it can be. And then I'm going to take that same color back into Justice and I'm just going to run it under my lash line. All right, and then you could totally stop here and just throw on some mascara and be done. But I am going to take Silver Millennium, which is this one right here, right? Millennium, yeah. For some reason I've read something very different, but the Silver Millennium shade, I'm just going to pick it up on my finger, and it's just like a really fine like shimmer, and I'm just going to dab that across the lid just to give this look a little bit more dimension. And you can never go wrong with a pretty shimmery yellow shade. I feel like it just brightens up the look just that much more, and we're already bright, like we're bright yellow. All right, so I added that shade, and then I also put it in the inner corner. I tried to use this brush. It didn't really pick up very well with the brush, and so I'm almost wondering if that is a Super Shock formula, because it is very, very soft, and it doesn't necessarily feel as like greasy as a Super Shock shadow does, which I guess maybe more the better word is as wet as Super Shock shadows do, but I'm not sure. Okay, if the angle has changed, I'm sorry. We just had a little bit of a catastrophe and my cat knocked over my camera and my whole setup, so sorry about that. But yeah, this is the look. So I'm just gonna throw on some lashes real quick and we'll be all done. Okay, I'm back with my lashes done. I used the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara with lengthening fibers. It looks like this. It's a pretty good mascara. I really, really enjoy it. I nicked myself, so I'm just waiting and letting it dry, and then I'm going to like scrape it off with a Q-tip. Also, I said that we were gonna be done after lashes, and I definitely lied. I forgot about lips. And there's two different lippies I want to use, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. But personally, I think gloss is really pretty during like for spring and summer, because you know we're all dewy and we're all shiny and sparkly and pretty, and so glossy lips are like natural. Like it's like one of the first things that you think of. But personally, I really like to go bright with my lips, and it's harder to find really pigmented bright glosses, and so I really like to go with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. This one is in the shade Heroine, like the female version of a hero. Anyway, it's like this super gorgeous orangey red shade. It looks like this. It is absolutely stunning. It's also got some pink in there. It's actually more pink than it is orange. Like it's a really bright coral color. And it is just stunning, and I love those kinds. But for today, I think I'm gonna go in with the NYX Powder Puff Lippy. It's a powder lip cream, and I have the shade Puppy Love. It's a very similar shade, just not as intense. And this is like a powder, so it is kind of like a stain almost. I really like it, and it's still like nice and bright and adds a lot of color without it. It's this one, without it being like neon, because the eyes are already so bright. I feel like it's much brighter on my lips than it is on the back of my hand. Here I am saying that it's less neon, and it still looks pretty damn neon to me. But anyway, I think that it's really pretty, and I really like the way that it looks. Then to really round out the dewy look, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. It says that it's long lasting. It looks like that. And ooh, that was way too close to my face on that first spray. Just gonna let that dry. My shirt is soaking wet. Clearly it was aimed more at my shirt than it was at me. All right, hair is down, and this is the finished look. So I feel like we are nice and bright and dewy and very springy looking, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads. I'm really hoping that I can get on a schedule sometime soon, but until then, we're just gonna have to keep up with the sporadic uploads. So I hope you guys have a great spring, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everyone.